So the 31st of March 2014, the day that we opened Frederick St, our first store. Probably the scariest day of my life. The night before, I lay awake, pondering, sweating nervously, checking the time every 5 seconds, and I had more than a few wobbles leading up to opening the doors. And guess what? It went well. I think that was around the time that I started to realise that, the worst thing you can do is nothing. Not to try something, not to give it a shot. That's pretty terrifying because honestly, quite often things aren't as bad as you think, or they can succeed. They don't fail. A friend of mine at school got a letter from his mum that he showed me shortly before sitting his exams, and it was the well-known Coldplay lyric, "If you never try, then you'll never know just what you're worth." And I think about that lyric and his sentiment most weeks. Frederick St, that place that gave me so much confidence to try and grow a small business, has now been left empty, shut up. And it's kind of been like a beacon of irony for everything that I've tried to instill, that sense of things can't fail or things can succeed if you try. And so I think it's time that we do something about that. It's time to open Frederick St again.
I think it would be cool also to list somewhere that, this is like a rotating menu, like more to come, whatever. Previously,
when we've talked about giving it a concept, maybe the concept has been too restrictive. Maybe we spin its head and make the concept more fun, and it's like the concept is that these are limited. Mm-hmm. So it's like literally we only ever buy a kilo of every coffee, and it's like that's the concept.
Yeah. I think if it's not around for 6 months, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, it makes people want to come back
more
often because it's like, I'm going to get something different each time instead of it's the same.
I really like that. I think that's really cool.
This isn't the only video we've made like this in a world post-COVID. Indeed, we have opened Frederick St once before, and we did document it with a video, but it is since we started to think about things a little bit differently. When we served our first coffees to customers over 8 years ago, the novelty of having a V60 on the menu was enough to cement yourself as a key player in the specialty coffee scene. These days, great coffee is everywhere. I don't think it's enough for a shop like us to open again without bringing its own value. So we want to bring some life to this special little space that has given me and hopefully our customers so much. And that life is a concept not dissimilar from your favourite wine bars.
So the concept is that we're working with frozen coffee with everything we do. So every coffee that passes from the counter to the customer has been frozen at some stage, including espresso. And we're able to do that because we have this freezer that's sunk into the countertop, and we pre-dose everything. We've got another freezer here. This is a work in progress, but these would be piled up, and that allows us to essentially work with a huge list, almost limitless list of different coffees, super special coffees which won't deteriorate in quality because we're trying to store them correctly and frozen. So that kind of allows us to do the wine menu kind of concept. Our hope, I guess, is just that we can really elevate the kind of experience that you get when you're here. We want this to be somewhere that is very experiential and is just tries to inject a bit of life into the specialty scene again, I guess, in Edinburgh.
So our plan is to source special coffees from not just our own roastery, but others that we admire, and build a curated booklet which will hopefully give you an elevated experience with those coffees. While some of these might push the limits of what you expect from the flavour profile in coffee, they will also be limited in their quantity. We intend to buy just enough of each coffee to serve 50 cups before it's replaced on our menu. This will ensure a curated list of special coffees are always available and rotating, and whilst you'll be welcome to drop by for a takeaway at all times, we would encourage you to stay a little longer to try some of these great coffees from some of our favourite roasters on this new filter menu. This is a really interesting development for us, but we think it's time to think outside the box and push ourselves to try different things. It will just be a concept available at our Frederick St store, and we really hope you enjoy this new experience.